All right, Dungeon Masters, let's talk. You've been there, you've run an investigation, and you've watched, with that quiet, sinking feeling, as your players march right past a clue you swore was practically on fire. If that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. We're going to figure out how to design clues they just can't miss.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You spend hours, maybe days, building this perfect, intricate mystery, and your players get stuck on the very first step. It is a universal DM experience, and today we're going to talk about how to solve it for good.
And this right here is the real heart of it, isn't it? It's the big fear that stops us from just handing over the info. Am I railroading them? We're so worried that making something obvious is the same as taking away their choice. But what if I told you the exact opposite is true? The short answer is no, you're not. And the long answer, well, that's what this whole explainer is for.
So to fix this, we've got to understand why it even happens in the first place. Let's really dig into what I call the obvious clue problem and figure out why something that looks like a neon sign to us is completely invisible to our players.
You know, the root cause is actually really simple, but it's so important. They are not in your head. Everything they experience is filtered through their character's very narrow point of view, and they just don't have the context to know what's a critical clue and what's just, a rug.
And this slide just lays it all out. Look at that gap. As DMs, we have the God's eye view, right? We know the map, the villain's entire monologue, the final twist. The players, they basically got a flashlight in a pitch-black warehouse. So when they miss something, it's not because they're bad at the game, it's a direct result of that information gap. Your job isn't to be a gatekeeper, it's to help them discover what's there.
Okay, once you really embrace that idea of the information gap, it leads to this massive, game-changing mindset shift. This is the big aha moment, so listen up. Clarity is not the same thing as railroading.
Let's break this down, because it's crucial. Railroading is when player choices don't matter one bit, because the outcome is already decided. But clarity? Clarity is the opposite. It's giving your players the information they need to make real, meaningful choices. Clarity actually creates agency. It doesn't take it away.
And that brings us to maybe the most important takeaway of this whole thing. The point of your mystery shouldn't be a perception check. It's not about, can you spot the shiny thing? It's a reasoning test. The actual fun of a mystery isn't the scavenger hunt for clues. It's that incredible moment when you put all the pieces together and the whole picture snaps into focus.
Okay, so with that new philosophy locked in, let's get into the practical stuff. Here's a super simple, actionable toolkit you can use to start building better, stronger mysteries tonight. It's all built around this number, 3. 3 distinct types of clues. If you make sure to include these 3 in your mysteries, you're not just giving players different ways to solve the puzzle, you're also making the whole investigation way more resilient to bad luck or a wrong turn. First up, we've got environmental clues. These are the details that are literally baked into the scene. It's the strange, cold draft coming from behind a bookshelf. It's the lingering scent of ozone after a spell was cast. It's the 2 different types of bloodstains on the floor. These are the clues that reward the players who really poke around and explore the world you've built for them.
Next, social clues. This is all the stuff you get from talking to people. It's that witness who gets super shifty-eyed and can't look you in the face. It's the guard captain who seems a little too helpful. Or it's the sudden flinch from a noble when you mention their rival's name. These clues are for your role players, the ones who love to talk and ask a million questions.
And finally, our third type, informational and logical clues. These are for the detectives, the pattern sniffers. We're talking about shipping ledgers that have some very creative accounting, alibis that just don't make sense with the timeline, or maybe noticing the signature of evocation magic in a room where only a transmutation spell should have been used. These clues reward the players who stop, think, and connect the dots.
So now you have your toolkit. Let's talk about how to make your mystery basically bulletproof. This is all about designing an investigation that can actually survive a few bad rolls or a couple of wrong turns from your players without falling apart. Please, if you take away only one practical tip, make it this one. This is the absolute #1 killer of investigations. If your entire mystery hinges on the party succeeding on one single perception check, your adventure is made of glass. One bad roll, and the whole night just grinds to a halt.
So, what's the better way? It's simple. Use dice rolls to determine the quality of the clue, not whether they get it at all. So on a failed roll, yeah, they still find the letter, but maybe it's torn or written in code or just really confusing. On a success, they find the exact same letter, but it's crystal clear, and maybe they even notice whose handwriting it is.
The role adds flavor and challenge. It doesn't act like a brick wall.
So let's tie all of this together. Let's talk about the big picture philosophy here, because this is how you make mysteries that aren't just solvable, but are actually deeply satisfying for everyone at the table. Look, designing clues that players can't possibly miss isn't about dumbing down your game. It's not about making things simple. It's about making them fair. It's about respecting your players and their time by giving them a puzzle they actually have the tools to solve, not an impossible guessing game.
And this, right here, is the thing to write down and stick to your DM screen. This is the whole philosophy in a nutshell. Give the information away freely. Just hand over the puzzle pieces. The real challenge, the real fun, the part that makes them feel brilliant, is when they earn the understanding of what it all means. So trust your players, give them the clues, and just watch the amazing story they build with them. And that's a wrap on this one. I really hope this gives you a new way to think about building awesome mysteries for your games. But now, I want to hear from you. What is the single biggest headache you run into when you're running an investigation? Drop your stories in the comments below. Happy adventuring, everyone!